Hey all, and welcome to Shadow Space. And today we're commenting on another BCB video. This is called Fed Up State Attorney Evacuates a Liberal State After Being Unable to Suffer Democrat Control Anymore. This was uploaded April 25th. This is being recorded April 26th, and link is in the description.
It is a growing trend in Maryland. For the last decade, more people choosing to pack up, and move out of the state.
And tonight, one lifelong Baltimore resident says he's next. Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor has the story.
Yeah, it's called the Free State, but it's certainly not free to live here. Today, I spoke with one of many Marylanders now saying between high taxes and rising energy costs, it just doesn't make economic sense to stay here. Stepping out onto the same street he grew up on.
That's my family's house with the black shutters. I bought that.
Ed Marcinko has truly called Bank Street in Upper Fells Point home for all his life.
My family has been in this area for over 150 years.
Wow.
I'm the last one of my family to be in this area.
But Marcinko says not for much longer.
It doesn't look that way for right now. Getting tired of everything that's happening in the city and in the state of Maryland.
As you can imagine, the decision to move away didn't come easy.
I'm gonna have tears in my eyes right now. I mean, I was born and raised here. My parents are buried in the city.
But after sitting down with his financial advisor, he says the numbers were impossible to ignore.
Gas taxes, what, 49.51
Sorry about that. You're back.
cent a gallon goes to gas taxes? Paint tax, who heard of that? I mean, it's just not affordable anymore. People are looking to go elsewhere.
For Marcinko, elsewhere is Florida.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about yet again another story involving a precautionary tale of Democrat governance, okay, featuring the state of Maryland, as you have a state attorney who is evacuating the state due to the reckless policies being passed in the state by Democrats, okay? I mean, a lot of people are fed up. They are moving. They're leaving Maryland in droves for the South, okay? They're going to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, right? People just moving to the South, okay? That's what people are doing. And the reason why is because of high tax policies, right? Tax and spend. In fact, they call the governor of Maryland, Westmore, they call him tax more, spend more, right? Spend more, tax more. That's what they call him, because that's all Democrats do. They spend more, they tax more. And taxpayers don't really get much out of that, to be honest with you. So, again, some people are fed up and they're leaving, okay, including this state attorney. And I want to talk about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
In Carroll County, longtime residents and state's attorney Haven Shoemaker says Maryland is a lost cause. And after...
I mean, because I think that it's important that, like, California is the highest cost of living state. I don't remember. We looked at that chart. I couldn't remember where Maryland was on that, and was on that chart. For the taxes. But like, this is what's going to happen in New York, Mom Donnie, if you raise the taxes, is these people are going to leave.
His term ends.
This guy is going to leave.
State. Fox 45's Ashley Kusakanki is live tonight, and Ashley, you sat down.
If you don't care, that's
today.
fine. But if your plan is to tax the rich, you can't tax them if they're not there.
Exactly is his reason for leaving?
Yeah, I did, Maxine. Good evening. And Carroll County State's Attorney Haven Shoemaker says that he's lived here in Maryland his entire life. But it was this past legislative session in Annapolis that sealed his fate on his departure.
You know, Westmore and the Democrats in the General Assembly, you've won. I'm leaving.
Carroll County State's Attorney Haven Shoemaker says after 61 years of living in the state and working through different roles in local and state office, he will not be renewing his term and leaving Maryland.
Essentially, the way I see it, Maryland's kind of a lost cause at this point.
Shoemaker saying this legislative session was his final push out of the state. He's pointing to a number of issues, including the Youth Charging Reform Act, which ends automatic charging of 16 and 17-year-olds as adults for certain drug, assault, and gun offenses.
It's more criminal coddling legislation that we see emanating from Annapolis every single year.
As well as changes to immigration reform, including the Community Trust Act, which seeks to further limit ICE cooperation in Maryland, and the ban of the 287G program, which had allowed local law enforcement to collaborate with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in identifying and detaining undocumented immigrants in detention centers, already signed into law by Governor Westmore.
They were just telltale signs that Maryland's lost.
Which
Plus
is
the
great, because like you have the woman in the previous video who left to Canada because it's oppressive, and now you have this guy who's leaving to a different state, so still within the union, but because he's oppressed by the government too.
Out, right? He's checked out. But can anybody blame him?
He feels like he isn't being represented.
Can anybody blame him for being checked out? Saying, look, I've been in this state for 60 plus years, been here all my life. Democrats are just in complete and total control, and there's nothing that can be done about this politically, right? There's no political solution to this. I'm going. I'm leaving. I don't blame him, right? I really
Seems
don't.
like...
I mean, it's a rational decision. It's a rational decision. That's why I don't blame people who are moving from New York City or California or Washington or, you know, wherever, these liberal cities. I don't blame them for moving to the South. I really don't. I don't. The problem is that there's a few problems. First and foremost, when they come down here, they have to vote Republican. They have to vote conservative.
That's the other thing that I was going to say, is that it didn't actually say what this attorney's political affiliation was, or how he voted.
Start voting Democrat, and that can be a problem. That can be a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come down here. Don't leave if you're going to support the same policies that caused you to leave where you came from in the first place, right? That doesn't make sense, first and foremost. But also on top of that, all these people moving down here, hey, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of business, but sometimes that can have negative economic consequences for the natives. For example, you have housing prices that tend to go up if you have a lot of people moving to an area at one time, right? Drives up the cost of housing. Wages don't catch up fast enough for natives to adjust, and, you know, stuff gets expensive. So I'm just saying, it's overall a good thing. It is overall good to have all of these people coming to the South, but at the same time, some of them should stay where they're at, okay? Because, you know, I know that these blue states are lost causes, right? They are, and rational people would make the move, but at the same time, it's not good for the blue states to be completely blue, right? We don't want to completely blue. We need some common sense, some sanity in those states, right? I'm just saying. But I get it. It's a rational decision. I don't blame this guy. Crime is out of control. It's not safe, right? They're passing laws that allow illegals to commit crime, and they don't have to worry about local law enforcement cooperating with ICE. They can just do whatever. They're playing catch and release with the illegals.
I don't know if that's true. Granted, they didn't say in the video what exactly they were doing, but they did say that they were passing laws to limit what ICE could do.
That's what they're doing. They're attacking local law enforcement and ICE more so than they're going after the illegals, the criminals. It's insanity.
Well, because ICE
Taxes
are the
and fee
criminals.
policies enacted last year.
So Maryland has gotten progressively more woke every single year.
Fact.
Their fiscal policies are awful. They're taxing people to death. Car registration fees are through the roof. And, you know, this most recent session in Annapolis was really, you know, sealed my fate and has hastened my departure. Maryland's now become a sanctuary state. Even after jacking up taxes to the tune of, what, $1.6 billion last year, we're still looking at a structural deficit next year.
His message to the governor and state officials.
I think that they need to take a strong and hard look at their policies, because I'm not the only one. People are leaving in droves. And it's
but they don't want you.
Sad. As for now,
Wow. It's the rational thing to do, right? So I don't blame him.
That doesn't make
But
it easy.
It's the policies at the end of the day. He's right. The policies are bad. Look, there are no affordable blue states. Do people understand this? When Democrats talk about quote-unquote affordability, where's the example of a Democrat making their state affordable? Where's the example? The most unaffordable states in the country are Democrat states.
That's kind of the way that it seemed to break down on that
I'm trying
map.
to figure out, like, where does this magical affordability exist? And you know, in a state that is run by Democrats, in a city run by Democrats. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Taxing everything.
Well,
Regulate
again,
everything.
because when the government pays for your services, that's how you get your services, is you pay for it through taxes. Free buses aren't free. You pay for them, you pay for your ticket by buying it through taxes. Someone pays for it. If all of the wealthy people leave and you can't tax those people anymore, someone still has to pay for it.
Money, right? It's insane, man.
Shoemaker says nothing will change his mind.
No, because we keep electing the type of folks that we elect here in Maryland, and they set spending policy, they set immigration policy, they set all the, you know, fees and taxes, all those things which are absolutely driving me out.
Wow. Hey, I don't blame him. I get it. That was a very coherent argument.
Well, see, and it's one where, like, where's the representation? You would think, as wealthy people, as people in government, who are expecting these wealthy people to pay more in taxes, you would think that you would go to these wealthy people and you would ask, is this okay? Is there something that you need that you would be able to pay this? How much would we be able to increase taxes that you would be comfortable with? No negotiation, no talking, nothing. Just, we're going to raise your taxes. This is what we're going to do.
Name the policy.
I mean, maybe they voted for it. Maybe there was some sort of millage proposal that everyone voted yes on.
Vote for the same old, nothing's changing.
Or however they do it. I don't know.
Took the red pill, right? He's out. He's leaving. Probably going to Florida. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people. This is the thought process, and you know, it's sad. It really is that these Democrat states are run like this. But this is the reality. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black.
Because Democrats refuse to acknowledge it, But it not only is it happening, but it's continuing to happen. And the more that they screw around, the worse it gets. Because they just keep doing the same thing. Because they just keep attacking the same people. Because they keep attacking the wealthy people, like that guy. They want it. There's nothing else to say. Otherwise, they would vote against it.